Nar'Sie touched my dick. Strange encounters of the bizarre lewd kind.
My blood suddenly felt like it was on fire as the room lit up underneath me. My body collapsed, all of my limbs growing limp and useless. All of my perceptions became distorted as I lie there, paralyzed. The outside world didn't matter now. It all went red, as I felt the attention of some unknowable horror narrow its mind-melting gaze towards me. This was it, time to be some nutjob, book-toting, blood fetishist now. The loyalty implant I had screwed inside my brain wasn't going to hold forever.
Another soul full of potential delivered straight to me.
Where was that voice coming from? Merely hearing that echo made my brain boil a little. The something staring at me from the unknowable abyss felt like it was chuckling. The eldritch horror was laughing at me. Great. Nar'Sie was probably some horrible boss that treated its followers like total garbage.
No, I like to think I'm rather fair to my children. Yes, I can read you like an open book. Aren't you a nice specimen, still young, virile, oh, and look. The sheer strain of trying to know the unknowable has you excited.
I couldn't say anything, paralyzed from the damn blood magic, not one single part of my body moving, and, oh fuck, that wasn't true at all. There was an unearthly laughter shaking my entire body as all that blood seemed to be going between my legs. I was aware of my heartbeat, the mind-numbing pulse that thrummed in tune with my growing dick just made me buck my hips by instinct, like some kind of animal.
You could provide such entertainment to my children, maybe even help swell their ranks. Do you still need convincing? Let's make this a bit faster for you, yes?
My breathing stopped as something grasped my twitchy little dick, wrapping around it like some kind of tentacle, tightening around it, searing it as if branding it as property, but leaving a dull, blissful sensation. The tip was wet within no time, smearing that shadowy tendril with thick pre oozing out at an unreal rate. The monster was doing things to me, to further tilt me over the edge, make agree to whatever it said. The grip was suddenly tightened, nearly cutting off all circulation to my cock, yet, at the same time, it felt like something was being injected, or pumped, inside of it. Chemicals? Drugs? Pure, undistilled corruption? I didn't know. The next moment, that mediocre shaft began to swell up before my eye, veins bulging out as it was growing into a bulky battering ram of raw cockmeat to punch someone's insides with, unfit for any human being, with a fat, swinging sack to match.
Do you see?
See what? That my cock was a bludgeoning weapon that I probably couldn't have normal sex with? As the tentacle grip loosened, there was an instant spurt, a thick rope of dick milk that plastered against the shifting surface of the monster, reducing me to a drooling, empty-headed shell of my former self. I still felt full, worked up, backed up, filled with that burning urge to violate someone's insides and claim them as mine. Nar'Sie was anticipating this, took advantage of this, and pulled my body forward with two tentacles wrapped around my waist. The swollen head of my fat slab of dick was squeezed into something I couldn't see, vision failing me and only seeing dark, swirling shapes in the void.
Do you see?
I was being yanked back and forth, my dick spearing into the unknowable depths of some elder god. Whatever that orifice was, well, it was certainly tight, hot, but more built for milking dicks dry than any pussy. Tiny villi and tentacles brushing against me as I was forced to jackhammer into it. Every few seconds there was a sudden explosion of ball batter that was pumped into the horror, tentacles vibrating with glee. Soon, I didn't even need any coaxing, grabbing a few tendrils for support as I pounded with utter abandon, no concern for my soul or humanity at this point. There was only one drive, one goal for me then. More thrusting, more filling, more coming. I had no idea if I could breed a creature from the void such as this, but at the time I did not care.
Do you see?
More shapes appeared, an all-encompassing form that blotted out all vision. Of dripping black tentacles and gnashing teeth. Of brilliant blood-red spires jutting out of the pitch-dark void. Of multiple sets of crimson eyes piercing into my soul. Of constantly shifting shapes and shadows whispering me to finally join them, to give in, to accept them as a family. The sheer horror, the alien beauty, the sheer realization of insignificance of humanity, was the tilting point that finally made me blow that final load which made everything shudder, the delicious flood of cum causing all the shapes and tentacles to bulge out as if they had all been filled simultaneously with pure white liquid virility, which made me feel like I was literally coming my brains out.
Hey, wake up already.
I felt like I opened my eyes for the first time in weeks. My entire body was aching from lack of movement or exercise. Before me were a pair of armored NT troopers, one in red and one in blue armor, in medbay with me. An emergency response team. Wasn't I just?
Wow, you're finally awake. You're probably wondering what happened, yeah? Stay calm, everything's fine now. It's been a few hours since, well, we found you unconscious, and completely fucking naked, on the floor of the cult base on the station we raided. Figured it was for some bizarre ritual or some dumb kinky cult garbage like sacrificing a virgin or some shit. But we just slapped a hospital gown on you, and did every test we could think of. You're clean. No weird cultist vibes coming from you that we can find. Implant is still intact even.
Processing afterwards to get back to work felt surreal. It all felt so normal being checked and cleared, compared to the experience. People gave me stares, but tried to treat me the same. They acted as if I had PTSD, and maybe they were right too. I didn't have the drive to knife people or paint blood runes on the floor, but the series of nightmares that followed that day sure felt like they wanted me to. In the end, the only proof I had of Nar'Sie touching my dick was the fact it was still a swollen monster cock I had trouble hiding in my clothes. Gee, thanks cult. Now I have to wear a skirt or long dress or some shit. At least you were finally good for something.